Larry coming? Larry's in there. All right. We're gonna hold you in contempt, Larry. Miguel's not coming this morning. So, well, we have a quorum. Let's get started this morning. I'd like to welcome the guests and any public comments that we have. The ones that signed in, whoever.
Mary.
I don't have a list of it, so.
Yes, okay now? Yeah.
Do you have Lisa?
Yes, hi.
Okay, hi.
Hi. Hi, my name is Mary Bardachet, and I'm a citizen of El Paso, Texas. And I'm concerned my family has property in Kern Place as well as in the valley off Montoya. And I have a concern that there's no enforcement of no trespassing signs. I brought photos of the signs. I had very short notice. I didn't realize you had a meeting today until yesterday, so I don't have as much information as I would have liked. Here's a picture of one of them. I can pass it around. And the other one shows two signs that is in front of the irrigation ditch that's on Country Club Road. So I was told by the local police department, if anyone's there trespassing, to call them once someone's there. So I did that, and when the police showed up, Officer Cohen's and then showed up as well, and it turned into a fiasco of I was like the criminal, like I was harassing the fishermen, or they're not going to support and enforce no trespassing signs. People can fish there. I was told by Officer Cohen's that this does not say no fishing. It says danger, no trespassing, no swimming, but it doesn't say no fishing. So he actually said to me, it doesn't say no fishing, they can fish. He also said to me that these two signs were posted strategically so that oncoming traffic can see the signs. That's why they're posted where they are. And he said they weren't posted where they were fishing, 30 feet away. So this is the conversation I had on a Sunday on my way to help my mother who's 91, no intention of stopping and doing that. I'm requesting that the board enforce or contact the city and have them enforce no trespassing signs on irrigation ditches. And that's why I'm here. I'm doing it for safety. If people can go in and fish, they could dump toxic fluids in there, like transmission fluid. And fishing, it's dangerous. I went to, there's a road country club that divides country clubs. So it's country club and country club. There's a roundabout, and people fish on either side of that. It's one irrigation ditch, though, because it's one body of water. It just goes underneath that road of country club. The man on one side, I went over just to say, you know, you're trespassing, you can't fish here. He cast his line on, I mean, I don't know what he was thinking, but it barely missed, I heard it. So I feel really lucky that the hook didn't get me. I think the danger to have people fishing in an irrigation ditch within residential property. I think it's disrupting the environment for wildlife as well as people, if they are walking by, not necessarily on the ditch bank, but nearby, could be injured. And it's not enforcing no trespassing. I'm also going to request that if you don't enforce it, you take down all the signs that say no trespassing around the city on irrigation ditches so that at least you have uniformity and consistency in your enforcement. And I would imagine that if you take down signs that say no trespassing and someone drowns, God forbid, in the irrigation ditch, the liability is tremendous for the city of El Paso and for the state of Texas. So I don't see how you could take down no trespassing signs. So that's why I'm here. I'm here to request something that should already be occurring.
Well, thank you very much for coming and sharing this with us, and we'll take it under advisement and get back to you. Okay.
Okay, and I also would like to know, I was told by Lisa, I didn't get her last name, so I apologize, I'm going to call you by your first name, and someone named Jay, who's an engineer. He told me yesterday on the phone, you're the ones who told me that you're not going to enforce it, and you're not going to post more signs, and that the board was all in agreement. Those were her words, that everyone was in agreement on, that's what she said. So I'm actually here. I'm actually here to have it on record if people did say that. Did people of this board, as Lisa said, are all in agreement that you're not going to post more signs and you're not going to enforce the no trespassing? Because
First of all, I can address that, okay? First of all, this is the first that some of us have even heard of it.
Okay.
So if you've heard that, that's not a
Great.
true statement,
Thank you.
and we'll take it under advisement and we'll get back with you, okay?
Okay, and one last comment. On Sunset, there is an irrigation ditch. That has a locked gate, a low swinging bar locked gate. So there are many, and another division under the master's program, Water Masters Program, I believe it's called, they said that they have been aware of the inconsistency in enforcement and posting signs on irrigation ditches. So that's, I guess I would conclude there. And thank you for clarifying that all the members were not in agreement of the no posting.
We were unaware of it.
We were unaware of it. I'm glad to know that. So thank you for your time and for listening to me, and I hope to hear back something soon.
Okay, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
All right, anybody else in the audience? Where'd Robert go? You know anything to say?
I've got enough retaliation on my thing, so I'll just be quiet for a while.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear you're satisfied, Robert.
I've got enough
You said you had enough, so I assume you're satisfied.
for now.
Okay, let's move along. We got a lot of stuff to do this morning. I guess maybe we need to recognize any of the people here this morning. Anybody want to?
We have Mr. Officer Combs and Officer Aguilar from the Fish and Wildlife that were here. In case the board had any questions.
Oh, okay, okay. And we have an alien from Hudspeth County here this morning too, so he didn't bring his passport, so I don't know how long we're gonna leave him. Welcome.
And then Larry's here from the Bureau of Reclamation.
Larry, glad you guys are here. Tell your old Jim Ed fella hello for us, because he's the one that's usually here
Yes,
giving
sir.
us a hard time.
I will.
Okay, thank you guys. All right, let's get started. First of all, it's under item 3, minutes of the previous meeting, the February 13th meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? Having heard none, I'd entertain a motion to approve them as presented.
So moved.
Second. Larry makes a motion, Art seconds, all in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign, motion carries. Okay, Mary, you're on.
We do have a February and March request, Mr. Steps, and maybe you would like to just go to the March, just kind of summarizes both of them.
Okay, that'll be good, yeah, that's what it is. We also have to approve our investment report, quarterly investment report.
For the March investment report, as you will see, we did go ahead and reinvest with our treasury bill.
Wow, what a difference.
Yes,
Holy moly.
2.54 and 2.49%.
The only problem I had, it took us so long to get it done.
Correct.
Wow, that's amazing.
And at this time, there is a suspension through the government for any new purchases on treasury bills. Once that hold is released, then we can go ahead and reinvest.
Yeah, the government put a freeze on them.
It's, under this particular program, they occasionally do when they don't need the money.
When did the government not need the money? That's a new one on me.
It's, I don't know, you know, the decision, they don't tell you how the decision's made. So we, the last meeting 2 months ago, we talked about getting, the option to have 2 sources, and that was the Texas fund.
Right,
So we're pursuing that now.
we don't have that.
Not as high as the T-bills, but I think we did achieve, we got most of it invested before they froze, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
we did. We did. And the one CD that did mature in March after the suspension was reinvested with Westar at 2.0%, a 2% rate.
Yeah,
That CD.
yes, they shot up.
And Mary, there's one typo down there, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th line. Move the decimal point 2 places to the left, I assume. On your quarterly report.
There it is, man, how did I miss that?
They,
You have to make a phone call.
they communicated with
Yeah, 90%, that'd be
with Mary,
fantastic. Well, call Westar, and let them know
it's
it's
really
really,
losing about 13,000.
Yeah, well, yeah, after we moved it over to T-bills, their rate went up. That's all to be said about competition, isn't it?
Right,
Yes.
when
Wow.
we were moving the $8 million, they were,
I'm sure.
yes,
Well,
I see that, Mr. Mayor, we're going to make that correction.
just a little. It'd be nice to have a 90%.
Right.
okay.
And then the next report is the balance sheet. Do you have any questions, Mr. Mayor?
Do you need approval of that investment report, or
Yes.
Yeah,
we'll get to that?
I was gonna do that in a minute.
All right, you got it.
Item D down there. The rest of it.
Bless you.
Bless you. Any questions on the balance sheet? Let's see. It's something back here. One thing that, this is a picky thing, but in your cash flow accounts, there are all your accounting. You don't have any title to each one of the different deals. For instance, revenue at the front, up here, you have to look down at the bottom and see total operating revenue. Then it starts expenses, and I'd like it, you know, if you could put revenue and then expenses, just to kind of,
Is that on the balance sheet? Mr.
Yeah, it's
Spencer?
on
On the net revenue.
on the net revenue.
Net revenue.
Yeah. It doesn't divide, I mean, it's divided up, if you look at the bottom, but it's just a header that would say, you know, revenue and expenses. Very, very picky little deal. Not a big deal. I didn't see anything, did you, yeah?
Oh, I just,
Anybody have any comments about that? Mine?
oh, I see.
Yeah. It's, I don't guess it has a page.
It's under tab A.
Yeah, it's under tab A,
I don't know exactly what it is.
just in the very back part of it, all of it, it's just, it's a picky deal.
I think I had one question for Marina, but it was already answered. I said, who fouled me up by putting that cash basis in there? She said, it was Mr. Stubbs. I said, oh, okay. I thought it was a good idea there. From cash to accrual.
Because I'm not smart enough to understand accrual, that's why. $500 check report.
That first one, what was that about? The water tank?
The water tank, instead of purchasing a brand new water truck, we had budgeted, remember we came to you all during the budget sessions, and we told you our truck was actually in real good shape, both water trucks. And rather than getting bids on a new water truck, complete vehicle and all, we refurbished the water tank. That was what needed replacement. And so we actually saved probably like $60,000 from not having to buy a new vehicle. So both vehicles are in real good shape, and now with the new water tanks, Rudy's welding shop did a real good job.
Okay, Mary, on that 500, I hate to go back 1 month, but the only question I was 1 month earlier on the February? On the first page of that, if you go down about halfway, and it says 2019 water right assessment days, and then 2018 water right assessment days. Were we late a year, or we've been both simultaneously, is that normal?
No, that isn't, we didn't, we hadn't received the invoice for the prior year, so when we received the 2019, we verified to say we had paid the prior year and realized that it hadn't been paid.
Okay. That's okay.
On the Texas Irrigation Council?
Yes.
Right,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, they hadn't,
So that's not normal, we just, somehow we're gonna blame it on them, they didn't send us the statement, right? Okay.
Yeah, that's a nonprofit, that's a nonprofit.
As long as they didn't kick
It's
us
not their,
out.
it's labeled water rights, it's not really, they base it on water rights, but it's not our water rights payment.
Yeah, it's just.
So we have another payment to make to
Be a member of
TCEQ for
that.
the water rights.
Yeah, this isn't the TCEQ, it's just the,
Yeah, this is a 501c3 that is
Yeah.
for all the irrigation districts in Texas.
Right, but it's based on,
It's loosely
That just means
based on.
this year straddles 2 calendar years.
well, she said they didn't receive it in the state for
Yeah, there's no lake penalty.
it. There's no lake penalty there.
Oh,
A
no,
good
I'm just saying
excuse, right?
I read that it's just straddling, our fiscal year is straddling 2 calendar years. See, our fiscal
Okay,
year.
all right, but I think they didn't bill us for dues.
Correct.
right,
What Mary said.
That's a good
They forgot
excuse,
to
Mary.
notice. Yeah.
Works every time.
And on page 2, Mary, on that same year, I have one on the, about 3/4 down, it says TASC, FSA, FSA card claim, administrative fees, so on and so forth, about $1,000. What is that?
It is a quarterly fee. This is our program where we allow the employee to set it's sort of a savings for out-of-pocket medical expenses. It's a pre-tax program that we take from their paycheck, depending on the amount that's selected for the year, but it's given to them upfront of the fiscal year to use for any out-of-pocket medical expenses for the year. And we are charged for the service.
Okay, I think I understand that. It's further healthcare. Okay.
We do have several employees that don't have dependents covered, so this is a program that helps them use, to pay for those out-of-pocket expenses.
All right, well, that was all I had, and I'm sorry it was last month, but I didn't see anything in work.
She got sorry you didn't see her anymore. The legal and consulting fee budget, any questions about that? That's one you gotta pass over in a hurry, you don't wanna look at that one too much. If no questions, then the quarterly investment report, it's, we have to approve that report, it's item B in your packet. If nobody has any, we kind of talked about it already, except for the 90%, and they're gonna change that,
With
right?
that correction.
Yeah.
That wasn't correction,
Well, I don't know why, if we got it.
well, just show that.
Show it to us,
Go,
yeah.
Go show that to the rest of you.
I'm sure they'll go.
Okay.
I'll entertain a motion to approve it as presented with the one correction.
So moved.
Okay, Art makes a motion,
second.
George seconds, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, Mary, thank you.
Thank you.
Good job as always. Opposed? You're on.
Good morning. And if it's okay with the board members, we'll just go to the March. Would that be okay?
That's fine, you know.
And there were no adjustments for the month of February.
There were no adjustments, so that's the maintenance thing, you know.
So we do have 3 adjustments for the month of March. We're looking at a total of 97 and 89 cents.
You want to explain
Yes, sir.
that each one of them was worked out?
The first one we have is, and Mr. Brooks, I just wanna, Mr. Brooks, last month, or the month before, we had talked about property owners rendering their property. This is what happened on the first adjustment. We did not get notice from Mr. Valenzuela or the city of El Paso that land was acquired. So we are prorating the taxes for 2016 and removing the 2017 and 18, the city's taxes. And then the next two, Mr. Hernandez, that was our doing, the property had been bill checked, There has been no irrigation water used, but we did not change it to a non-use. That'd be the total $97.91.
Everybody clear on what we're adjusting? Now, I entertain a motion to approve the adjustments that Rose has presented.
So moved.
Larry makes a motion, there a second?
Second.
Todd seconds, all in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign, motion carries.
Thank you. Our next one is our Public Service Board, our Lower Valley Water District, and our tax suits. Update where we're at, Public Service Board, Lower Valley Water District, we have a joint effort where we're soliciting for water rights. It's the water rights program. And as far as tax suits, these are long-term delinquent accounts that we have turned over to the law firm for collection. So this is just an update that you know where we're at.
That deal still amazes me. And the Lower Valley now has agreed to pay the delinquent taxes.
We have been working with them. Mr. Bates, what you wanna?
They haven't finalized that.
They haven't finalized, they budgeted for,
Yes.
to do it, and they're just working on, I think their lawyer is holding up the paperwork, working on the paperwork that they want to have the people sign on.
Oh, okay, the form,
Yes, so,
but they are gonna do it.
yes.
That'll make a huge difference,
And
I think.
as a matter of fact, I'm going to have a meeting with them this Friday, with Jerry Gajanra, in regards to the contract. They want to protest some of the contract, which I'm going to give them notice that they can't. It's mostly the maintenance of the community ditches.
Oh, you mean the what year in contract, 1999, what was it?
It was 19, what was the contract signed, Jim?
A long
The
time.
90s, early 90s?
The one that allowed them to do this, that's
Yes.
the contract you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was 1992, maybe.
Yeah.
It's a long way back, I know that. That'll sure reduce your delinquencies, I
Yes, sir.
promise
Sure
you,
will.
they'll
Yes.
get on that.
It looks very hopeful. And then our comparison between the 2017 and 2018 tax assessment. April of 2018, we were at 96.4418. We are trailing a bit. April 2019, we're at 96.1520%.
Very close,
Yes.
a little behind, but not much. If they ever get that program instituted
Oh,
and they
yes,
do it,
it's
that's
gonna be
good.
great.
They're gonna have that percentage
Oh,
of funds.
yes. Definitely. And we have been providing information to the Valley Water District, queries, whatever they need, we've been there.
All right,
Any questions?
maybe next year whenever tax season comes around.
That's gonna be great, yes. That's all.
Anybody have any other questions for Rose?
Thank you.
Thank you, Rose, good job. Rose finds even the pennies, I'm telling you, she's right on top of it. All right, General Manager.
Okay. First item, I've got 4 new grant applications that we have been looking at, and we filled out the necessary paperwork, and now it's up to the board for approval. The first one, item A, is, as you all well know, the La Union East. That's located almost all in New Mexico, but it's water delivered to us, and it's water that we lose through evaporation and through seepage through that canal. So I've been talking to Gary about this grant application. Their board of directors approved that we go ahead and be able to submit for this grant application without, and they're going to furnish us a letter of support on it, since it is in New Mexico. The grant application is for $300,000, and it would really help us tremendously if we could get this grant approved and concrete line that canal.
Do you need a resolution for each
Yes.
one of them?
Yes, for each one.
If there's any questions of Chewy about the purpose and what this is about? Sounds like good,
That's that stretch where we lose a lot of water.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And it's the location also, remember we did that test where we pumped directly out of the river and around at the water back. So that would really help us if we could ever get that accomplished also.
Keith wouldn't call me on this one if he did that.
Yeah.
He'd start calling George. No, that'd be a great thing.
Y'all leave my good friend Keith.
Is this 300,000?
He's my good friend.
One grant, or is this?
That's just one grant.
Okay.
And this is an in-kind deal, we have to put it in or not?
Yes, the 300,000 is what we would get from the Bureau, and then we would in-kind
In-kind 300,000 and work
Oh,
on
that'd be great.
68% of.
We do the work and.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So Julie, all of this, these portions of the Montoya are the ones located in Texas?
Yes, I'll go one by one on this.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, do I hear a motion to approve item 6A?
So moved.
Art makes a motion. George,
Well,
second.
again, I'm not, Johnny, what I'm asking, look at, my question is, these canals up there around Montoya, they go in and out of the state of Texas. So are we saying that these grants are to be used only in sections that are located inside Texas boundaries?
The first one is located in New Mexico, but it services our water users too. And it's a canal that's been a problem, a huge problem for us as far as losses of
Well,
water.
I know that Montoya is backwards and forwards.
Not the Montoya, we're talking about item A.
Well, I know La Union, I know that.
We haven't gotten to B yet.
So let me explain those. in
We
terms
have that
of-
agreement.
We have that agreement that we maintain and operate that. This actually comes under our maintenance.
You're talking about the joint powers agreement?
Right.
Yes.
And when all of these areas are covered in the joint powers, and all these areas, the Bureau Reclamation understands the geographical location. There's no issue with it being in New Mexico.
Joey said EBID is gonna furnish us a letter too of support.
Yes,
Right.
they're
Okay, so
board
do
approved.
we, how do we need to specify that section A, 6A or 6B?
Yeah, these are all covered under our section, 6B, right?
6B.
Yeah, so yeah, they're all
That's
100% within
what the joint
6B.
powers agreement says, we're to maintain 6B.
Right,
Yes.
So yeah, they're specified as 6B. There's nothing in 6A.
So my question is, do you need to say anything in the resolution? That's all I'm asking.
No, I don't think so. I think-
Well, you'll write up the resolution to be sure that it's correct, as long as, if everybody's in favor of doing this, well, we can get the proper.
We have easements and all these
Mhm.
facilities.
Okay, I think I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Okay.
Item B.
6B is the Montoya Main and the Montoya A, and that is all located in Texas. And it's a $75,000 grant application. These locations, we'll have to take them in 3 steps as far as doing, if we do get these grants. And we'll divide up the Montoya and the Montoya A into 3 different projects. The first project, this is where that little girl got hit and killed.
Yeah, yeah.
With Montoya
Right.
Lane is so narrow
Right,
there,
right,
the
right.
road. So it would be a good project. I had Jay visit with the city representative from that area, Peter Schwarzbein, yesterday, and Jay showed him exactly what the project consists of. He had some questions, so Jay went up there and visited with him and showed him what we wanted to do and how it would help them also with the issues that they're having. So it'll be a great project for the community and for us, because every canal that we concrete line becomes almost
Oh, yeah.
maintenance free.
It's huge, 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 huge. Do I hear a motion to approve item 6B?
Move. Second.
Larry makes a motion, George second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Item 6C is a resolution for a grant application, $75,000 also, and it would be for the engineering of the La Union East Canal that Al and his staff would have to do for us.
Well, these questions I'm asking just have to do with the wording of the resolution, that's the only reason I'm asking.
Well, we can make sure the resolution is correct
Right.
after the fact, I guess. Okay. Item C, 6C, do I hear a motion to approve it?
So moved.
Hart makes a motion.
Second.
Larry seconds, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carries.
Which
Item
one
D.
exactly is that one?
C.
The line on the
The Unis,
West Side
Where?
Drive. It's parallel to West Side Drive from Artcraft, upstream.
It all the way past, starts up past Washington, north of
West
Washington.
Western, or,
yeah.
and Artcraft, yeah.
It's at the New Mexico state line,
Right.
George, and it runs parallel, you know where the, where El Paso Water has that treatment plant up there? It runs in that direction.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
It's our
just the
main,
engineering for doing it.
Yes.
it's our main canal for the Upper Valley.
Okay, item D.
6D, it's Texas Water, or Bureau of Reclamation application also. There's some money available to upgrade our well meters. And, you know, we've been trying to do that for a number of years now, and some money came up. It's a $75,000 grant application, and we would do it's a 55-45 match, something that's very much needed.
Okay, do I hear a motion?
So moved.
KR makes a motion to, Larry seconds, all in favor say aye, all opposed, same sign. Okay, Chewy.
Okay, 6E, we scheduled the farmers meetings for tomorrow at Texas A&M at 1 p.m. And then up the valley, the only location that we could get would be the Kaintia Administration Offices, the school, for the school district there. And so we had to schedule that one at 4 p.m. They're making us schedule them earlier than what we would like, but it worked out well last time, so we went ahead and scheduled it, and I'm working on trying to locate possibly another location for
Okay,
this
you
meeting.
do it in the evening, they like it in the
Yeah.
evening.
So that way more people can attend at 6 p.m.
Okay. That didn't require any action, that's just
No.
information.
That's for information, and if you all are going to attend, will you be attending the one down here too?
The one here, but I'm not gonna make it to the
You're not?
Valley to
Okay.
go to the doctor's appointments.
All right. And Art, are you?
Yep, I'll attend this one.
You're not gonna go visit with Pete?
I bought that one too. I think. Let me think.
I would like to go visit with Pete.
Yeah, if we could limit it to two, that, because if not, we'll
Yeah,
have to
well,
post
then,
We can't run out of time.
yeah, then I don't need to go to this one.
the next.
I won't go to this one since Johnny's gonna go to this one. How's that? And
Okay.
and the other one,
And Al will be
Except I
making
have
the
an
presentations the way we
appointment.
did last time.
I have an appointment in the afternoon. Will
This
you
is
have
the-
somebody up there?
This is the good news one, so.
Well, yeah,
That's what was the bad news.
Yeah,
I know.
I think it's Jordan.
This will be the first time in 20 years I wanna have
Jordan will be up
good
at
news.
Upper Valley.
This will be the
You'll be
first
at
time
Death
in
Valley.
that I'll be able to have good news for
Huh?
everybody.
Join me.
I wanna
Well,
go.
I have something going on in the afternoon tomorrow.
So do I.
I'll see if I can move that.
I'd like to go tomorrow afternoon too, but I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, but I'm not able to.
Because we don't have to wear vests.
You-
Neither one of these do, right?
Nope, it's,
Not this year.
Not this year.
Well, that may be after we tell them what the projections are.
after last meeting, they probably won't show up.
All right,
Okay.
compact meetings, Julie?
Item F, the Rio Grande Compact meeting that we attended last week. Mr. Ivy was there, Mr. Brooks, and Mr. Ceballos, and had pretty good reception and meetings, one-on-one meetings there at the reception the night before, on Wednesday night, and then on Thursday, there was some very good presentations. The Bureau of Reclamation, Larry's boss, gave a real good presentation, and our compact commissioner, I have to give him kudos because he was on top of things and corrected many errors that Colorado presented, and Pat corrected them. And then the International Boundary and Water Commission gave a real good presentation also on what they've been doing, cleaning the river, removing the silt.
The acting director, whatever.
The new commissioner.
Well, it's new.
Yeah, she's been named now.
Good.
And she gave a real good report. It was put together by Billy Finn and Dan,
Oh, there.
Aguilar? And Dan's doing a real good job. Of course, Dan's got experience. He retired from El Paso Water. So he knows how critical it is for us
Yeah.
to clean the river, and so he's been doing a great job, don't you think, Al?
Yeah, it's well, I've got a brief presentation on that, so we'll talk about that in a minute.
So all in
But,
all.
Turn the corner.
Wow.
All in all, there was
Yeah.
some good presentations.
30 years of that.
And then, of course, Fish and Wildlife gave a presentation, and there were other presentations, but I've got to give kudos to Pat. Like I say, he was on top of the game.
Good.
I don't know if you all have anything to add, or, George and Larry, it's the first compact meeting that they make.
They were definitely looked after. Because made sure it went on record. They forgot to mention the carryover water, I think, was the main issue.
Yeah.
Main issues, yeah.
John Colorado gave a big presentation on what our allocation was last year and what the difference between us and EBID. So Pat came back and said, hey, the reason that the AP number 1 had more water is because of their carryover.
We saved it. So bank account, thanks to the operating agreement.
And then the last item, item G, y'all will be happy to hear that we got a grant awarded to us by Texas Water Development Board. One of 2 that we've applied for. We still need to hear on the other one. It'll be to finish concrete lining the Franklin feeder from the Partidor to Socorro Road, that last section that's earthen. And Robert's real thrilled about us getting that section finished out and replacing those head gates right there next to Socorro Road. And so we won't be able to start on that till next year, but at least we've got the money allocated. We had applied for $200,000. They awarded us $180,000. So that'll pay for materials and.
Well, that all helps our 6-year plan or 5-year plan, whatever it is.
Yes.
The way to look at it is they award us 1/3 of all the money in the state, right? So it's only $600,000 total.
Right, awarded, and we got.
I'd say you guys must have filled out the application very well.
And you know,
I think participation with the
going down there and
chairman.
right, going down there and
That's gonna,
visiting
that's
with
what
those
I mean.
people and
Chuy's done a great job in pursuing these deals and getting them, because they all know him, and it's been really good, and it's very, very helpful to our taxpayers and our constituents, because.
So the reason, and in fact, we met with them at the Water Days.
at the Blue Lettuce Award.
The legislature received a conservation award for it. They participated in that, and they had staff there, and talking to staff, the reason, because there was a lot of applications.
Mhm.
It was like 60, right?
There was close to 60 applications, and they were only awarded 5. And
That's what I say, you guys did a good job filling out your application.
And so I think, and what they remarked to us, which makes sense from their view, and it's a lot of credit for Pete, is that they said, well, you guys get your jobs done the way you say you're gonna do them and fast. So you can see how that makes them feel comfortable that we get the work done.
But what I was saying is, it's so important for our taxpayers, because our old system has been here since, the 20s or whatever, the 30s, and we're sorely needing to rehab it, and we've gone into the program to do that without ever having to raise the taxes, and these things right here make a huge difference in being able to accomplish what we want to do in the next 5 years or 6, whatever.
And the grants that we have targeted are all mostly they're all for the Upper Valley, which, we've been doing some work up there, but this will really
Be good.
improve our system up there also.
And it needs it bad.
Yes.
Yeah,
If we get the La Union improvement done, so that's we've, for years, and credit to NDAR pushing, George, I'm sure will pick it in his shoes, take over. It's the first thing we had to do to be able to deliver water, if we are ever to come up with enough funds to put in a diversion system there. So that we sort of started the other way on our pilot system, because we know that we can do it. It's just a matter of the trash and the sediment and the water that's going to be trouble, and money, as always, to build.
Hopefully, we're not gonna need that for the next 25 years.
Not this year, that's the good news, so, but anyway.
The last time, whenever Mr. Pfeiffer was the general manager, we had 24 years with full supply of water. I don't know what happened after that. We want to go back to that.
I
We
can
want
say
you to make it 25, you'll hold the record.
that the struggles and the difficulties we've had with the drought were from lack of rainfall and snow upstream, that we were so fortunate to have this general manager here while we were going through those.
No, I
times.
understand.
One last thing, during the Blue Legacy Award, George was there, he made the trip to attend the presentation, and then we also took staff, and it was great because Mary got to meet Cameron, that finances everything, got to do a face-to-face with him and to know each other, and Lisa was there, Jay was there, Pete was there also, so they get to know who the players are, which is great.
Yeah, face-to-face is the best, and you know who you're talking to on the other end of the phone. That's
Well, Johnny, have we said anything in any prior resolution, I don't remember, commending Chewy for the award that he got in Austin? Very prestigious award.
We haven't done that. We sure haven't, but I guess we need to put it on the agenda next time, right?
Well, I think it could be covered
You think it'll be covered?
in his reports.
Do you have any idea what it should say, Mr. Spear?
Yeah, resolved that the El Paso County Water Improvement District Number 1 heartily commends its manager, Mr. Jesus Reyes, for the state award he received. What was the date, Julie?
It was March
13th.
On March 13th, 2019.
during the Texas Water Day there at the Capitol.
Yeah, it was great. I'm sorry I was out of town to do it, but you had something to say, Joe?
I'll say, it sounded good, write it out.
Well, that's
We have some
Under what item can we do it on the agenda? To make a resolution, you have to be able to put it somewhere on the agenda.
Well, this would be more of a proclamation.
Well, proclamation.
Yeah, I think it's fine as a proclamation.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Proclamation, so we don't need a vote. So
Unless somebody's opposed to us.
Well, is anybody opposed to it? Well, I don't know.
We have pictures too, I think I sent them to you.
Yes.
It's really good, and Chewy has really done a great job in being involved in all those and being able to have a lot of influence for our west part of Texas, because Austin doesn't really know we exist out here most of the time, but you and Al and all have done such a great job in Austin, and because of that, we've been getting a lot of these grants and then a lot of attention in things that need to, because before, like I say, Austin doesn't know El Paso exists, so you have to get in their face kind of to let them know that you're here, and you guys have done a great job, and we appreciate it, Chewy, we really do.
Thank you, and the staff has done a great job also.
Oh, yes,
Thanks.
of course.
Pete doing the work and Robert coordinating with Omar and showing him the projects that need to be worked on, and then Jay and Al and Lisa coordinating the grant application.
Well, it's a team effort, of course, and I think I can speak for the board. We're very proud of our team. You guys, every one of you, do tremendous work, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Makes our job pretty easy. Okay, right, George Brooks.
And the other thing was, I think Al, you and I were talking over there, some of those other districts were talking about how they've reduced their usage, and ours is way below that. I think they were happy that they figured 200 gallons per person in that area per day, and ours was down way below that, but it wasn't advertised.
Yeah, that was a municipal, and John Blizlock. I think the reason El Paso is getting a lot more, is looked more, and what George said, is that they're, even though I don't think we were treated fairly in that evaluation, but the city at least, is that John's such a well-received, John Balloon too, and that we work so well as a team, they see it as, remember we had that Texas against Texas, that problem, and now it's
It was a little more local.
yeah, it was more local, and I think whenever you have that going on, then the state's gonna stay out. And now it's the exact opposite, we all work as a.
Yeah, it's been really good.
In fact, I have a presentation on a work that we're doing with the city right now, major work.
There's been a lot of progress made, and the only one that, to their dismay, is the lawyers that haven't been involved in lawsuits.
There's
That's a good thing.
plenty of those to go around.
Sorry, yeah, that's a good thing. All right,
That's all I have.
okay, well, thank you, Judy. All right, District Engineer.
Oh, we have one more under general manager.
The dewatering applications?
The authorization.
Oh,
Yeah,
I missed
that's
it.
coming, if you let me talk to that, is all right? It's even though it's on the general manager's deal, it's coming from engineering. You know, we've had the dewatering program in place for a long time. We've got it very well structured, very well enforced. It's returning the money we need to maintain these facilities. And so, with having said that, there is especially in a small project, there's often an urgency to be able to get the dewater right away.
There's an urgency.
So similar to what the board's done with the temporary construction license, and these dewatering are typically temporary, they're a lot of times no more than 6 months. We've asked if you consider granting the general manager authority to execute dewatering licenses on behalf of the board. The standard form.
Not only would we would welcome it,